week before my 19th birthday, this girl I had been seeing turned to me and said, "Cody, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. I just wanted to know if there's anything that you wanted to do before turning 19. Now, 19 is not like a unique birthday. As an 18-year-old virgin, obviously, my first thought was sex, and I was like, no, there's no way she's talking about that. Get your mind out of the gutter. But then she repeated the question, is there anything you want to do before turning 19? So I started thinking, what haven't I done yet? I've never gone bungee jumping. I've never been to Texas. And I'm thinking of this list in my head when finally she says, "Cody, is there anything you want to do? Like maybe me?" So that was more explicit. But I didn't want my response to be super enthusiastic. I wanted to play it cool. But as soon as she left, I freaked the fuck out. I opened up my Google Calendar, I made an event. And I didn't know what to call it, like fun? I didn't know how long to make it. This was a big deal. This was my second initiation into manhood after my bar mitzvah. And I wanted to be prepared, but I had a lot of questions and I didn't really trust the internet that much. So I sat my suite mate down because he was in a fraternity. I said, "Phil, she wants to have sex this weekend. Do you have any tips?" And he goes, "Oh man, I'm so glad he came to me. So glad he came to me. First question, do you have the top bunk or the bottom bunk?" Now I couldn't think why this was relevant, so I was like, "Bottom bunk, why? Is that bad?" And he goes, "Shit, you can't do the reverse cowgirl." And I didn't know what the reverse cowgirl was, because I had never been to Texas, but it was at that point that I realized that Phil was a little too advanced to be helpful to me. So I wrote to my pen pal from camp. Her name was Libby. And Libby had once talked to me about losing her virginity, so I thought, okay, it wouldn't be weird to ask her some questions. So I just berated her with questions. I was like, how many towels do I need? And more importantly, what are the performance expectations for the first time? Are we talking like 30 to 40 minutes? She goes, "Fuck no. Who do you think you are, like the Lance Armstrong of virgins?" 30 to 40 minutes. Divide by 10, then you have your answer. Which was a problem because Google Calendar only has 5-minute increments, but there was just one question I couldn't get the courage to ask Olivia. I felt like I needed to ask a guy, and I had exhausted all my options. So I went to my RA. His name was Guillermo. And I went to the door, and he opened and I said, "Guillermo, I have a really urgent and personal question." And he got really serious. He was like, "Yeah, come on in, what's wrong?" And I said, "I'm having sex on Saturday. And I don't know what the expectation is when it comes to hair down there." And he looked up like he could not believe I was asking this question. And as someone who later became an RA, I can tell you this is not in the training. It's not like binge drinking and manscaping. But he was like, "Yeah, I trim a little bit." And I was like, "Roger that, got it." So the big night arrived, and pro tip for those of you who haven't lost your virginity yet, don't turn the lights off. I know we're all sort of uncomfortable about our bodies and the light, but that's like going to a firing range for the first time and pointing at a target and being like, "Yeah, hit the lights, I got this." It's not a great idea, because as it turns out, vaginas don't glow in the dark. I was down there holding her legs like it was a Where's Waldo book, just like, it's gotta be here somewhere. And vaginas don't talk either. Otherwise, my first instinct when the lights went off would have been to go, Mark, go! The other thing they don't tell you about sex is that it's exhausting. After 3 minutes, I was like, I can't do this thing. And it's not like a football game. There's no one on the sidelines handing you Gatorade. Or maybe that's what the third person does in the threesome. I don't know. But the next day, I got a text from my RA to come to the dorm common room. And I go there, and when I walked in, all 8 RAs were there. And there was just silence. And they all start smiling. And at the same time, they all go, snip, snip, snip. Then one of the other RAs pressed spacebar on his laptop, and I Just Had Sex by Lonely Island started playing on the loudspeakers. So I was mortified. And that night I had dinner with that girl, and there was a awkward silence, and she looks up and says, so, your birthday next year? So we're going to Texas.